Hello everyone, welcome to this mini lecture. How is language and thought correlated with each other? This has been the focus of many researchers in the past century and still open for discussion today. Then, how can language and thought be linked with each other in reading? Are there any steps to follow when we are trying to bridge language with thought during reading? These are the questions we are going to tackle in this mini lecture. To answer the first question, let's quote Noam Chomsky. Language is designed as a mode of creating and interpreting thought. If we apply this concept into the process of reading, we may agree that while reading, we are understanding, analyzing, and interpreting the author's words and ideas. This actually is the process of bridging language with thought in reading. Then, the second question, are there any steps to follow to bridge language with thought in reading? Bloom's taxonomy can provide us with a systematic approach and the steps. In 1956, Benjamin Bloom, with his collaborators, published a framework for categorizing educational objectives, and the revised version of the taxonomy was released in 2001, including 6 categories as remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. These categories can be applied as steps to develop more complex levels of thinking in reading. To elaborate how to apply Bloom's taxonomy in bridging language and thought in reading, I'd like to use a well-known fairy tale, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, as an example. The first level, remembering. After you read the fairy tale, check whether you can remember what you have read. Can you list the important events of the tale? Can you name the important characters involved? Can you depict how astonished the 7 dwarfs were when they found little Snow White in their cottage? Can you portray the heartbroken dwarfs when Snow White was poisoned by the queen? This is the first level to bridge language and thought in reading, being able to recall information that has been learned. The second level is understanding, which asks the readers to go a step beyond just remembering. To check your understanding, you can retell the tale in your own words. For instance, describe the scenario, how the huntsman acted against the queen's wish and spared Snow White's life. Or explain how gullible Snow White was in face of queen's tricks. This is the second level, understanding, elaborating points of what you have read in your own words. The third level is applying. For example, can you make a short presentation to share your opinions on why the queen repeated asking, looking glass on the wall, who in this land is the fairest of all? Can you interview both Snow White and the queen on their attitudes towards being the fairest of all and write a commentary based on the interview? The third level, applying, is to use what you have learned in new ways. The next level is analyzing, that is, differentiating, organizing, and attributing information. When the 7 dwarfs wanted to keep Snow White with them, they said, "If you will take care of our house, cook, make the beds, wash, sew and knit, and if you will keep everything neat and clean, you can stay with us. And you shall want for nothing." Do you have answers to this question? How could they ask Snow White, the little girl, to do so much housework? Careful readers quickly point out, when Snow White entered the cottage to rest herself, she found everything in the cottage was small, but neater and cleaner than can be told. Since the 7 dwarfs can do the housework by themselves, why did they assign it to Snow White? In this level, readers need to examine and break information into parts by identifying motive, making inferences, and finding evidence. The 5th level is evaluating. Is the plots or opinions reasonable? Can you defend or argue with evidence? How would you defend for Snow White's father for his silence or disappearance from his wife's persecution on his daughter? What's your opinion on Snow White's silence when her stepmother was forced to put on the red horseshoes and dance until she dropped down dead in her wedding? What would you do if you were Snow White? Can you compare Snow White with any Chinese female characters in history, literary works, or films? This is level 5, evaluating, presenting and defending opinions by making judgments about information, validity of ideas, or quality of work. The final level is creating something new. After reading the story, you may create a poem to compile different female characters in the fairy tale. You may develop a drama presenting the situation when Snow White meets Elsa, a later female character in Disney cartoon. You may even write a fiction about a modern Snow White who encounters a queen-like boss in her company. This is the last level. Creating, that is, compiling information together by combining elements in a new pattern. These are the 6 levels to bridge language with thought in reading. To further clarify the correlation between the two, besides skimming for superficial characteristics and information, we also reflect on what's behind words. Starting from remembering words, facts, and the grammar, we go further by understanding and analyzing the context, the author's purposes, or the background of the written work. Based on the understanding, analyzing, and interpreting, we evaluate ideas and arguments in articles and then draw our own conclusions. Finally, we may even create something new and something original. Therefore, when we take reading as a process of remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating, a bridge between language and the thought is built. That's all for this mini lecture. Thank you for your watching.